tell a story of possibly one of my best lion sightings ever. And it happens to do with a young male lion and a honey badger. And I know you were just chatting about honey badgers with Jamie. So we were watching a pride of lions doing pretty much exactly this, sleeping, and a honey badger came trotting down a path close to them. And the lionesses pretty much did what they did now. They sat up, looked, and then lay back down, completely ignoring the honey badger. But a young male of about 2 years old decided, no, he can't let this opportunity pass. So he charged off, and he managed to corner and catch the honey badger. And the only way I can really tell the story is to sort of show you what happened. So I'm going to just go off the lions briefly. So what happened is this young male lion caught the honey badger, and he eventually managed to pin it onto the ground like this, with one of those big fat paws of his, keeping that honey badger flat. Now honey badgers make some really, really strange noises when they're upset. So this honey badger is literally pushed into that deep Kalahari sand, going, making very, very, very strange noises. So every time the lion tried to lift his paw, the honey badger would almost turn in his skin and try to bite him, so he'd push it back down again. And eventually, after about half an hour, 45 minutes, he's just sort of standing there on top of this honey badger, not really knowing what to do, thinking trying to catch this thing was a really bad idea. And then the lionesses got up and they started stretching and grooming and walking off down the road. Now this young man is still stuck with the honey badger. He doesn't know what to do. Mom and auntie and sister and everyone else is gone, and he's still pushing down on this honey badger. And eventually you could almost hear him counting in his head. It's okay, I got to get out of here. And he sort of goes, 1, 2, 3, and he pushes this honey badger right into the sand and just leaps in the opposite direction and takes off. And this little honey badger charges after him, going, nah, 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 nah. Fortunately for the lion, honey badgers can't run too fast, and eventually he did catch up with the rest of the pride. But it was an absolutely fascinating little interlude in a very flat cat sighting. So as we look over, it's still predominantly flat. Here's a bit of that grooming starting. Grooming themselves at the moment, not that social grooming that we do see quite often with lions when they groom each other. So Susan in the Netherlands is wondering how far the mating lines are from these ones. Last time they were seen, probably 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers, so not that far for a lion. And Susan's also wondering, how do they find each other again afterwards? By calling and by scent, Susan. So now that Nkuhuma female will probably start roaring once she's done with the, back to sleep, with the mating. And these girls will probably reply, and she'll come back and join the pride. Aha, that's what we want. There's that stretch, a little arch to the back. Nice social grooming there. Touching faces. I'm just going to... and flopping down again. So lions quite often do this before they move. I'm just going to try move forward a scratch so we can see a bit more of that. How's that, Brian? There we go. Oh, flop. We're now in quite a precarious position, being directly downwind of them. Now, being a protein eater, lion gas is definitely not something you want to smell too often. Well, I think we're almost immune to it by now. We get severe drafts from time to time of half-digested meat. Oh, bless you. Oh, we got up. And there we go. There's the nice stretch. Oh, it's the female with a slight limp, so she didn't stretch too heavily. Now Now normally, there we go. Urination. The other lions are starting to get up now. So it's almost like a signal with lions. This doesn't mean they're going to get moving straight away. Quite often they might groom and play around for a little bit. Oh, stand on the thorn. There we go. She's going to smell that other lioness's urine. We might get a phlegm and grimace. Or not. There we go, a bit of scent marking. There we go, the third adult up. Just the sub-adult still snoozing. There we go, smelling urine. And there's the phlegm and grimace. Not a very big one. Oh, and flat cat again. There's the phlegm and grimace, unfortunately not looking at us. There we go, there's that phlegm and grimace. Taking the scent of that other lioness over the Jacobson's organ and picking up all the little chemical signatures and messages that the urine is giving her. And there's the sub-adult, looks about to do the same. Nope. But see, this is very, very typical of lions that aren't that hungry. Get up, stretch, urinate, maybe a bit of grooming, and then flop down again for a little bit. Looks like they've almost flopped down in the exact position we found them this morning. Moved out. And now it is. So, there we go, flopped down again, but there is that real potential that they might get moving shortly. But while we wait for that to happen, Jamie's with the other apex predator here in the Sabi Sands.
Just with them, but actually looking almost deep into the eyes of one of the apex predators. In this case, it is the injured hyena, and I personally am fairly certain is a male. I could be wrong about that, of course. It's the individual with the injuries around its neck. Hello. Healing up nicely already. You can still see a little bit of the bulges. It's more prominent on the left-hand side of the hyena. Probably through some kind of scrap over, possibly over a kill. It's a little bit painful, I think. Every now and again that twitching, I think, is from flies sitting on the injury. Shame. Sitting on the outskirts of the den, probably with injuries inflicted by the clan members themselves. Some nice calling happening at the entrance to the den. Unfortunately, my way is blocked. I can't get closer. But you can hear them whining at each other. Little cubs are out and about. Oh, goodness gracious. This hyena in the entrance has stymied me. But there's our favorite little bundles of trouble. And our little cub. Looks like it could be one of the Decembers. They've grown so much now, it's phenomenal. Munching away, exploring their worlds with their teeth. Here comes November, wandering in to investigate. My personal favorite, not that you should have favorites. I think it's November, maybe it's the other way around. It's getting really difficult to tell now. I want your stick. I want that stick. There's plenty of other sticks around, but I want that one that you're chewing on because you're chewing on it. And I'm going to take it away from you. Yep. It's mine now. They're just like toddlers in their own way. Such a dejected look from the little one that lost its stick. Don't worry, there's plenty of others. Oh. The ever graceful descent down the termite mound of the den. And the reason I can't go closer, just to give you a sort of an idea, is that the hyena that was lying up next to us has sort of restricted our ability to move around. I don't really want to disturb him, given his current injured state. But he is completely and nearly recovered, apart from that pretty ripped up neck. But Iggy has commented on something that I always find amazing. Come on. Yes, you can be brave. You can be brave, little December twin. Oh, so far away from the den. You're going to come say hello to us, or you're not quite that brave yet? Thinking about it. Oopsie. Every now and again there's a bit of a back leg coordination fail. Leg just collapsed in underneath it. That's so entertaining to watch. I will never ever get bored of spending time with these particular animals. Oh, somebody stepped on a thorn. How terribly uncomfortable, right between the pads of the toe. Ouch. Get it out. Nibbling away with those sharp little baby teeth that are just as sharp and needle-like as those of puppies and kittens when they first have their first eruption of their teeth. Oh, little one, did you manage to get that out? Hello, yes, I'm talking to you. But apart from their, oh, just got a whiff of the smell. Sure. This den is starting to become particularly pungent, and I have to move forward because it's the only opportunity we're going to get, and the cubs are right out. I can't go all the way close, but I can see Madam's new cubs. So I'm going to just go through here to get Andrew a view. Can you see them there, Andrew?
Yes, I can see perfectly.
Perfect, thank you. Because the new little ones are out and about and chewing on their first stick. It's melting Kirsty's heart in final control, melting hearts across the world as they nibble on and explore. Whoopsie. Whoopsie daisy. What have you two got, you two little mischiefs? It's so incredible. What a privilege it is for us to be able to witness their growth and development and all of these learning curves that they're going through. One of their first experiences with a stick at a couple of, I would say about a month and a half, 2 months old. Whoopsie, oh, it's scary, it's a little bit scary. Learning can be scary. How lucky are we that we get to spend time with these incredible creatures? And yes, Iggy, you are absolutely right. Their ability to heal, all animals out here actually, their ability to heal and fight off infection is simply astounding in my mind. And their ability to learn and to watch them grow and develop. We're incredibly fortunate. For those of you joining us for the first time, the mother of these cubs, the hyena doing a nice big yawn there, that is Madam, and she is the matriarch of this clan, or as far as we know, she is the matriarch of this clan. There in comes her previous cub, Bella, to investigate. Amazing how tolerant she is. Showing submissive signs, letting Mom have a sniff. And as the cubs of the queen, so to speak, they will inherit her status. Look, he's coming. Oh, so brave and curious. Looks like D2 and November have decided to come and say hello. Oh, not quite that brave yet, are you? Hello? Hello, naughty. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Be brave. And come say hello. And Fluffy's absolutely right. Fluffy has said even the big brown eyes of the adults are appealing and expressive, but the cubs are quite simply irresistible. Look at the intelligence in that face. There's something behind those eyes that is constantly learning, thinking, experiencing the world around it. Hey, Mischief. They're incredible. Definitely notice a huge difference in behavior between the one December twin and the other. November, of course, is the eldest of the group, is the bravest. All investigating, shame. The poor male lying off on his own, separate from all the goings-on. Luckily, he's perfectly relaxed with us, sitting next to him and enjoying an outsider's view of a peaceful scene. But yes, I've definitely noticed a difference. There's the other December twin, not quite as brave, or at least not quite as, what would the word be? I wouldn't say it's not as curious, or playing with one of its cousins there. A pile of cubs rushing in. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the Decembers is the one that's slightly more retiring. I think it's D1 with the white foot is a male, and that D2 is a female. That is complete conjecture on my part. This is awesome. Getting bullied by the younger cousins. Oh my word, Andrew, look at how far that little cub is out of the den. Both of them. So brave. I have to move forward a little bit so that you can see. Now, Bella's definitely here, investigating his new siblings as they have a sniff around. But Deborah was, oh, look at how tolerant he is of those little bundles of black fluff. Oh, getting very adventurous. Well, we've got a very active den site. Deborah, who is watching and familiar with our various hyenas, was wondering whether or not June is here. Deborah, I think, and it's hard for me to tell exactly, particularly at this distance, but Deborah, I think that individual that they were playing with just before we started looking at the young cubs, it was June. I think that June is here. June's just grown so much, I'm actually starting to struggle to identify the difference between June, the February twins, and Bella. I'm fairly certain that's Bella up there. Look at this, it's a pile of cubs. All investigating. There's a bit of urine on the ground there. I'm not sure whose, but they're all taking turns to add to it. And that, of course, is why... Oh, yes, have a good roll. Have a good roll. Already trying to anal paste, even at such a young age. This is awesome. we're going to be seeing more and more scenes like this as these cubs get braver and older. At the moment, they're not quite coordinated enough, although showing some serious signs of being very brave. Whoop. Constantly running back to one very patient mother. Now, just in case for new viewers you're wondering why it is quite dark and that I haven't illuminated them in any way, the reason behind that is at this very young age, it's our policy to not spotlight them. We're just adding a further distraction at a time where they are young and vulnerable. So we don't put spotlights on den sites, particularly with cubs this young, which is why it was a bit of a rush to get here to make sure we could enjoy the last few moments of light with these little belly sliding cubs. Whoopsie. Back across to Mom. Having a good sniff around. Oh, someone's been lying in the mud all day. Incoming hyena has definitely spent its day wallowing in mud, probably around the Gallagher pan. Look how curious that cub is. Awesome. Well, I'll try and figure out a way around so we can get a little bit closer, although I don't think I'm going to be able to. Let's pop over to Brent, who has the lions next to the car.
So we are. Looks like we might get a bit of movement. And a little bit of phlegm and grimace there. So they move towards us, and the one lioness is literally lying so close we can't even see her properly. There she is. So they moved towards our vehicle and lay down, but they're still doing that very lion-like get up, 1 to 5 meters, lie down again, get up, lie down again. So we've got the 2 who are lying right in front of the vehicle, a 3rd up above, and the last one off to the right behind the tree over there. There she is behind the tree. Now the big question is, which way are the Nkuhumas going to go? Are they going to give you a treat and pop out on the dam cam? They got us quite excited there. We thought maybe a little bit of movement before the end of safari, just to flop down right next to us. So Zoe's asking, do I think the big cats are more frisky in cooler weather and playful? Says she sees that with her domestic cats. Most definitely. It's due to the fact that they are unable to get rid of heat easily. So to extend energy playing would actually raise their body temperature. So when it's cool or colder, they're definitely far more mobile than when it's hot. And it's nice to see. It seems like they've calmed down after their being a bit jumpy yesterday from the helicopters around. And the helicopter was out, obviously, on anti-poaching patrols. But can you imagine, to a lion, a very noisy, loud, big thing in the sky could be quite perturbing. You can see the little sparkle in her eye off our side lights. Or was she just looking at Brian? thing about all the big cats. They seem to have that capability to stare straight through you. Not that they are at the moment. Definitely a new meaning to the phrase, a twinkle in the eye. So as the sun, the last light of the sun is disappearing, the lions are starting to look like they might get a little bit mobile. But I still think probably before they set off in earnest, it's going to be a little bit longer. I'll definitely be on their trail tomorrow morning, seeing where those tracks lead. Will they have made a successful kill? Will they be that little bit more hungry? And a lot of our regular viewers will know when I see a very hungry lion, it doesn't matter how flat they are, I get out the thermos and the lunchbox and get stuck in, and we're not going to move, because the potential of being in the right place at the right time to catch them taking down something increases. It has been, oh, she's on the move. So a little bit of grooming before the end of drive, and it'll be very fascinating to see where they go and flop down again during the night. Hopefully they pop out on the Juma cam for you guys to watch. But from Brian and myself, and from Jamie, Andrew, and everyone in Final Control, it's been great having you with us. And I think there is a little bit of Jerry's cheesecake left, that I think there might be a bun fight to see who gets it. But the thumb's about to say goodbye, so toodles, and hopefully we can find these lions again in the morning.